Hi, my name is Chris Andrews. I am the Group Product Manager for the Geo-enabled Systems team at Esri, and I'm also the parent of a middle schooler at Sierra Vista. Recently, I presented to you about some of the things that I do in my job at Esri, and I put together this quick video to teach you how you can actually personalize a web map in 3D of your own travels or places you've been or other subjects that occur in the real world that you're interested in. What you'll do is you will use a simple tool to record points on a map. You'll be able to edit some JavaScript, HTML, and cascading style sheets. And to do this, all you really need is a web browser, a text editor, and a favorite photo if you want, and of course your brain. Recently, when I presented, I showed you a really great set of tutorials from one of my colleagues, Raluca Nicola, who lives in Zurich, Switzerland. And she put together this great example today that I'm going to be showing you, and all the credit goes to her. So Raluca used a new tool for me, which is pretty cool because I learned something in this too. And so she used a tool called Glitch. And if you go to my-travels.glitch.me, you will find that you're able to actually create your own custom site. All you have to do is click on the little fish in the upper right-hand corner, then click Remix on Glitch, and it will open a new site that is that's just unique to you. You can do this without even signing in. So from there, you can see that Raluca created a mapping tutorial teaching you how to do this, how to customize her map using our tools. And for starters, we're going to click on this geojson.io tool. So this tool allows you to actually select different points or create points and shapes on a map, but they're actually kind of smart points and shapes. As you'll see in a sec, what I'm going to do is create a map of places I've lived. So I clicked on Sao Paulo. And you'll see over on the right hand side, as you create your map, it'll start to build up some information about the points you're clicking on. And in this case, Sao Paulo is where I was born. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to create a title, a new field on this data point. And I'm just going to say I was born there, born. And then when I hit save, what you're going to see is it actually adds that title over into the data on the right. And it's important that we remember that I used a capital T in my spelling of title. There's some other tools that would do this a little bit more smoothly, but this is really a great tool for folks like us who want to just customize something simple. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and create another one in Cape Cod, Massachusetts, where I grew up as a little kid then. So I went to elementary school there. Made sure I had the same title. And so then now I'm going to speed things up a little bit. I've lived in Florida and New York and back in Florida, and I even worked at the Kennedy Space Center. And then I moved to Denver where Ben was born. And then I went to San Francisco, and then now here I am in Redlands in Southern California. And so I have my map. One thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to come in here and I'm going to grab one of the coordinates from one of these points. And I'm trying to grab a coordinate that's kind of central to all the points that I did. So I'm going to look for the point that I did in middle school and high school. And what I'm actually grabbing here is the latitude and longitude points for that middle school and high school point. I'm just going to copy and paste those into Notepad for the moment. And we'll come back to why I did this. So now I need to go back to her tutorial, and I'm going to look and check, and she says go to save Geo Json, save the file locally. So if I go to save Geo Json here, and then you'll see it downloaded a Geo Json file for me. And so it downloaded all that text on the right into a file. Now I had already done this, so I have another one there, but I'm just going to rename the one that we are using. And I'm actually going to copy it out of my downloads folder to my desktop for the moment. You don't have to do this, but I just did it. So then I'm going to go back to Glitch, and I'm going to go find my file, and I'm literally just going to drag it into this interface. And so you'll see it opens up this assets area, and see there's the Chris lived here GeoJSON file. And so we're going to go back to the README, and now she says click on the GeoJSON file and copy the link to the file. So go back to assets, click on Chris lived here, look at that, copy, And I just click anywhere to get off of this. And then I go this time, so I go to, so she says in script.js file, go to line 62. It turns out she probably made a minor edit because it turns out it's actually line 61. So I go to line 61 in script.js. I paste in my new URL. I need to be sure to be between the quotes. If I'm not, then I might have problems. So then Raluca's directions said show in a new window. So when I showed in the new window, here's my map, and look, there are my points. But what's missing? I don't have any names on the points, and the map looked a little funny because it came up centered somewhere over the ocean. So now we're going to make a couple more changes to personalize this map a little bit more. So one thing that I'm going to do first is I'm going to go find the labels for those points. And so that's still in script.js. And you'll see in the middle of my red box there, it says feature.name. Well, guess what? We put title with a capital T. So if I put feature.title and I go back to show in a new window, now I go over there, look, now I have my titles. So unless I've misspelled one of those titles, they should all show up if I zoom in. Okay. So now we want to go back and we want to do a little bit more customization. It's not quite there in terms of a fully customized map yet. Now what I want to do is actually customize the background image in my map. So I have a picture of the 14th Street subway station that I took on a trip to New York City that I like. And I'm literally just going to drag it back onto that interface. You'll see it uploads, and I can do the same thing I did before where I click on the image, I copy the link to it. This time I need to edit my style sheets, which are how you style the look and feel of many web pages. I'm going to paste my URL to the image in between those quotes, just being careful to make sure I still have the quotes. And then I'm going to refresh the map again, and you'll see I have the subway station image in the background. Pretty cool. There's still a few more things we need to do here. But I still have one problem, which is that the globe is still not centering on my own story here. So I'm actually going to go back to script.js, and in this time I'm looking for some coordinates in here. And look, I found the camera position. A camera is how you project this 3D globe onto your 2D screen. And those position points are the longitude, latitude, and then the altitude of the camera in terms of the distance away from the Earth. And so I'm going to be very careful to replace only the first 2 points, the first 2 coordinates here. But note, I want to be sure to keep the right commas. And so I fix that, and notice I still have a comma after the first 2 numbers. And then I go again, show it in a new window. And now, look, it looks pretty close. It came up about where I wanted, but the shadow is a little bit of a problem. Okay, so how do we fix that? Well, we have to come back in here, and if we go down just a little bit, we'll note that Raluca had a lighting setting of Central European summertime because she's in Zurich. We're just going to delete that, and it'll default to the local setting. And note, I have an extra comma, and I delete the comma, and there, I'm good. Go to show in a new window, and there. I'm really close here, so I'm getting really close. I've got nice background, I'm over my points, but I'm not quite where I want. So I'm going to look at the latitude value here, which in this case is the second value in those 3 values, and I'm actually going to decrease it, which means that I'm going to center the camera more toward the equator. Looks like I can see where I was born a little bit better here. I could even do a little bit more if I wanted, but I'm going to leave it there. And now I want to change the label on the map itself. This time I'm going to go to index.html, and I'm going to find down below, there are 2 My Travels, but I'm going to find the lower one, and I'm going to say Chris lived here. If I wanted, I could actually change both of them. The upper My Travels, that you can see near line 4 would actually change the title of the web page in the browser itself. So that's it. Chris lived here, and I've got a custom map. It's fully interactive. I can even spin the globe, and you'll see my points spin around, and that's it. There's a lot more customization that you guys can do on your own. Have a great day and have fun exploring.